Um, all right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Student Life panel for our fall open house. My name is Derek and I'm a junior here at Springfield College. So this is the Student Life panel. So you guys are hearing firsthand of what it's like to be a Springfield College student, and we have freshmen, we have them all. So again, this is going to be kind of, again, you're going to hear firsthand of what it's like. The panelists and I have put together some of the most frequently asked questions that we get on tours and a lot of prospective students ask. So at any time where you have a question or you have something that you want to know more about, you should have a chat box at the bottom of your screen. Type something out and then we'll do the best to kind of answer that question and help you guys out. So we'll start off, we'll have the panelists introduce themselves, and we'll start off with Lynn Mary.
Hi guys, I'm Lynn. I'm a sophomore in the Applied Exercise Science program. Really excited to tell you a little bit about the college today. And then I'm also part of the Women's Rugby Club and Women's Club Gymnastics.
Thank you. We'll go to Johan.
Hi everyone, I am a first year grad student. I am a undergrad from Springfield. I graduated in May 2020. Now starting my grad school in health promotion and disease prevention, and I am also part of the men's volleyball team here on campus.
Thank you. We'll go to Jess.
Hi everyone, my name is Jess Hart. I'm a junior in the physical therapy program. On campus, I'm also a member of the honors program, and I'm on the Springfield swimming and diving team.
Jess, we'll go to Nate.
Hi guys, my name is Nate. I'm a senior in the occupational therapy program, and I'm part of the ambassadors, and I'm very big into murals, and that's it.
Okay. We'll go to Channi.
Hi guys, I'm Channi Rana. I'm an international student from Nepal. I'm a sophomore majoring in psychology and sociology with a minor in YMCA professional studies. I'm the president of International Student Organization on campus. I'm also in honors, student council, and YMCA club.
Thank you. We'll go to Dom.
Hi everyone, I'm a junior in the exercise science program. I am also the president of our club for the major, and I am an RA on campus.
Thanks, Dom. We'll go to Brianna.
Hi everyone, my name is Brianna D. I am a junior studying criminal justice, computer science with a minor in religion. On campus, I do a lot, mostly cultural connections, and I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you. And last but not least, Arielle.
Hi everyone, my name is Arielle. I'm a freshman. I'm a business major and a dance minor. I'm also a commuter, so I can't wait to answer all of your questions.
Cool, thank you guys. So again, we have a wide variety of majors, different people on sports teams, involved with a lot of different things. So ask your questions. That's what we're here for. But again, we'll go kind of everybody will hit on this. In your opinion, like what's the culture like at Springfield College? And we'll start again up with Lynn.
Yeah, so I'd say the culture is, to me, honestly, I love it here. When I see everyone's faces, it just makes me so happy, and everyone's in such a good mood, and it definitely plays off your mood too. But I feel like when you get to know more people and you join more clubs and you get more involved, you definitely see Springfield as a whole being a really awesome culture.
Thank you. We'll go to Johan.
Yeah, I think here in Springfield College, everyone tries to be their best that they can be, and kind of like live out the mission of Springfield College, which is just basically educating the spirit, mind, and body, and service and leadership to others. And I feel like that everyone here tries to embody that as best as they can, and just be in a friendly environment, and also competitive where we have a lot of sports team, and everyone's just friendly, exciting to be around everyone, and just be on campus. It's just exciting.
Thank you. Jess?
I would say that my favorite part of the culture on campus is just the atmosphere of support that we have for one another. So, everyone's always coming out to each other's games or performances, and just, showing up to help each other and support each other in any way. Some of my favorite memories are, running from the pool after practice with like wet hair, dripping hair, and like running to the volleyball games to go and like watch my friends out there, just because it's just fun. You cheer everyone on. Everyone is so, excited to be there and excited to support our, classmates and friends, and that's really my favorite thing.
We'll go to Nate.
So I'm going to agree with Jess and say the supportive culture of Springfield is amazing, but I'm going to use it in a different sense. Just with everything going on right now, it's been very hard. This semester's been difficult, but having a lot of friends that support me and having a lot of people around me that support me has made it it made it a lot better.
Channi?
Like Jess said, there's a culture of support. They say home is not a place, it's a feeling, and you will feel it when you come in Springfield.
Tom?
I would have to agree with a lot of what Johan said. I feel like we have a really big sense of community here on campus, and like with the surrounding community, we really strive off of like supporting others here. So,
Brianna?
I think some of my favorite memories are definitely being in Culture Connections and the people I've met like inside of Culture Connections. I met some of my best friends through there, and like every time I go there, it's like a family. They're always there to support you. And some of the food drives that happen throughout like the semester, the year, it's really nice to like be out there volunteering again and giving back to the community.
And then Arielle.
I just love how there's no judgment on campus. Like, even though I'm a commuter and, everybody else like lives together and all that, when I come on campus, I still feel just as welcomed as if I did live on campus. So I just love the energy, how everybody is so supportive and is willing to help me. So I just really appreciate that.
Cool, thank you guys. And kind of going off with the culture and all this stuff. So what is it like for you guys on the weekends? Do people stay? Do people go home? Kind of what is there to do on the weekends here at Springfield? And what is something that you guys do? And we'll start with whoever wants to go. Lynn, Johan, whoever.
Yeah, I'll go. So it kind of depends what you want to do. Like sometimes I had friends that lived really close to the college, so sometimes they'd go home on the weekends. But for me, I'm like 3 hours from home, so I don't really go home. But there's a lot of things to do. Like if you want to go off campus, we have like this shuttle, and you can like go to the mall and go shopping, or you can go to the movies. There's a lot of things to do, and they like host different events, which is really fun. But yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I live close enough to campus where I could go home on the weekends, but I literally never, ever, ever, ever do, except right now. But I'm always at school, and I don't even really leave campus to like go to the mall or anything. There's always stuff going on, and on campus is where I want to be. That's where your friends are. In normal non-COVID times, there's tons of athletic events going on the weekends. So you're going out to support your friends and stuff. The campus activity board puts on tons of events. So there's always something going on, and it's always either free or very, very low cost. And they're just fun events, But I have never wanted to leave campus during the weekend. All my friends stay on campus. Just everyone's there for the long haul.
Yeah, and I want to expand upon that. And basically, here in Springfield College, we make, and I'm answering one of the questions, which basically how to make friends in the dorms. Here in Springfield College and in the mostly freshman dorms, we create our friends from like our same floor, same hall. And I can say from my experience, my friends that I met my freshman year in Golik, my freshman dorm, I'm still friends with them 5 years later. Even though we all graduated in May, I'm still friends with them. We all lived together senior year. So that's how basically you kind of make friends in the dorm. And one of the advices I can give is that basically you leave your door open because everyone's just going to pass through a door and just say, hi, how are you? Be active in your floor and make sure that you take the time to actually know your floor mates, not only your roommate, but your floor mates. And sometimes we have, there's Gulick is co-ed in the floors. So there's half girls, half guys. So make sure you're also getting to know the people across the hall. And just that's how basically you're going to meet your best friends for the rest of the college life. And also in the weekends, you can also go to different halls, different people that you meet that live in different places, and you can also meet their friends and like make your community and your friends group even bigger. So that's how basically you kind of like make friends in the dorms, and it's just fun environment.
I know, Dom, you're an RA. Can you expand anything else on that?
Yeah, so going off of that, as an RA, there's an RA on every floor in each building, and our goal is to get people to connect with each other, like their floor mates and everything. So in a typical year, like we would host very like in-person activities, different like movies, or in like different ways to get the floor to join together and at least get to know each other. I know as a freshman, that was a pretty big thing that our RA did. And right now it's like a little more difficult because of COVID. So a lot of things that we do are more virtual, but you're still getting all of the residents to interact with each other.
And so we had a question kind of going off, Dom, what you said with all the COVID stuff. So you guys, how is kind of clubs, programs, have they changed? Have they been affected with COVID? Anybody can answer this one. I know with Nate, you do intramurals. How has intramurals changed with COVID?
You kind of just need to wear a mask for most of them. There's a few that they're not doing this semester, but for the most part, it's still active and fun, and doesn't feel very different.
Johan, yep.
Yeah, for programs and everything, I know the school is doing a lot of virtual programs and virtual activities. I know bingo is being done virtually. So that's just the different. I know we can have big crowds like we usually have, like midnight bingo or like midnight breakfast in Channi. But the school has been doing a great job in trying to get everyone involved to the much as we can. But also when we are in school and we're present, either in classes, sports, and everything, it's just basically wearing a mask and staying socially distanced and getting tested frequently by the school. But that's basically programs and clubs. That's how much it's kind of changed.
All right, so we just got another question. Do you suggest for an incoming freshman to live on campus their first year? I think who wants to go with this one? Anybody? Jess?
I would say, yeah, if you can swing it. Living on campus is really fun because it's your first time kind of out of the nest, and the freshman dorms are like a really good place to learn how to do that. You know, you're surrounded by other people who are also, you know, maybe it's your first time living on your own, living with a roommate, and so you're all in it together, and I think it leads to a lot of really close friendships and really fun memories that you're going to cherish. So yeah, I would say if you can, do it. If not, you're not going to miss out on much.
Okay, for me, being a freshman, I'm gonna be completely honest. I wish I stayed on campus because I feel like I would have grown more stronger like friendships, like foundations. So I just feel like the only reason I didn't do it was because, you know, financial things and, you know, but I just feel like if you can do it, like if you want to, at least for a year or two, it doesn't have to be like the all 4 years if you don't want to. But I feel like just to have that experience and have that foundation of friends and a foundation of people that you can call your family or whatever the case may be, like I feel like you should really go for it.
I'm just gonna add something real quick. For me, I did live on campus and I still live on campus now. So for 3 years so far, I have some friends. Oh, sorry, I thought I was muted. I have some friends that are commuters, but I think it's like they joined a lot of clubs too. So then they made like a home here. They made those connections and everything. So if you can like afford it financially, go for it. If you can't, it's not the end of the world. You still have all 4 years. You're gonna meet people, and it's like join clubs too, because that helps you meet people. I know for my friends who are commuters, they come on the weekend and like we hang out like all day. So there's that too. There's like a bunch of things that are still offered to you even when you're a commuter.
So kind of going off with all the freshman stuff and the experiences for you guys, what was NSO like? This year was a little different. Can anybody elaborate on, you know, your experience on NSO and kind of what the weekend entails? Johan?
Well, I can start. For me, NSO was back in 2016, so it's been a while. But I still remember because it was basically a experience. It's just an amazing experience. You coming in as a freshman, and technically NSO is not mandatory, but they make it seem like it because, and everyone goes because you don't know anyone. That's the way you meet friends. That's the way you meet people that are not from your hall. That's the way you meet other, if you're an athlete, other people from other teams. And it's just basically a whole weekend of activities. It's pretty packed weekend. You do a lot of activities together, and then activities with different like groups. I know this year NSO was a little bit different, a little bit smaller groups, a little bit more conversation type. They couldn't do all the stuff that they normally do, but they made the most of it, and it's just an awesome experience. And we have a saying in my team is the more you give, the more you get. The more you keep, the more you lose. And it's basically just being full on in that weekend and making sure that you create those connections and you are all in, because that's basically going to set up your whole first year or first semester, first year on campus.
Going off of what Johan just said, I know that this year for NSO, their groups that they were in were actually their floor mates. So this year they got to hang out with like the people on their floor for the weekend and get to know them really well, which helped build their connections.
Okay. So we just got another question just regarding kind of class size. What's the kind of biggest class that you guys have been in, and kind of what's the smallest one? We'll go with Jess.
My biggest class ever, I think, was freshman year chemistry, just because that's a class that a lot of sports bio, PT, PA, I think exercise science has to take it. There's so many people in that class who have to take it for a major requirement. But yeah, so I think there were 70 or 75 of us in the class. And that's about as big as they get here, as far as I know. But even with a big 75-person lecture, which by the way is nothing compared to those like big state schools, like you got 300-person lectures. That's terrifying. But even in our like larger lectures, the professor, Dr. Torrey, he was the coolest. He knew us all by name. You know, he'd say hi to us on the sidewalks and stuff. He knew everybody by name. like right like that. He knew all of us, and he would make sure that all of us felt welcome and make sure that everybody's questions were always answered. And he had tons of office hours, and there was just tons of support. And I don't know, I never thought I could enjoy chemistry, but here I am.
Oh, my smallest class was, I think, about 12 or 15 students, and it was my freshman year. It was a college writing class, and so the way it was broken up, I lived in Massasoit, so we had living learning communities. So every people from our dorm who wanted to take that class were the only people allowed to take that class. So it wasn't a very big class, sorry. And then our teacher was amazing. We watched a movie for our final, or for our midterm. For our final, she brought in bagels, and we just talked about how our semester went. So we really didn't do much in that class, but it was great. And I still see those people walking around campus, and because we all lived together, so we had that. And then we took that class, so we spent that time together. So it's really nice seeing those people when you're walking around campus, and it's nice because they say hi and they remember you.
Yeah, so following up with what Jess said, those big kind of lecture classes of 60, 70 kids, they also have a lab with them, which is also a smaller portion of 15 to 20 students. So it is, even though your lecture might be a little bit bigger, your lab portion, which meets once a week, is smaller, and you get more of that kind of one-on-one with the professor. Arielle?
I was gonna add that my smallest class right now is 3 students. Because as freshmen, I don't know if every freshman has this class, but I do. I have a writing studio class that's basically a support class for my college writing class. So it's just basically a smaller group of students that we would just have extra help from another teacher from our college writing class, since that's that's a 3-credit class, and then the writing studio is a 1-credit class. So it's just extra help basically on our writing. And I feel it's just really helpful because our teacher is able to communicate with us individually, and I just feel it just gives me a lot of support on my college writing class. So helps me to improve and understand the modules better. And yeah, I just think it's really helpful.
Going off of our Leah, I took that class my freshman year, so I forgot about that. My class was pretty small. I think we had 4 or 5 students, and you only take it when you're a freshman because you only have to take college writing when you're a freshman. And it's really nice because it's so I had a different teacher than my writing class teacher, or my college writing teacher. So it was nice. And I see them walking around campus. I still email them when I need help on a paper, or when I just want them to proofread or something like that. So it's really nice.
You wanted to say something?
Yes. So one of the classes I took in my first year was honors colloquium. We only had 4 people. So with the class, we students in the honors program were able to design their class and propose a proposal with the professor and go with that. And it was very interesting. So I took current events, and the other class I took was gender and families. And we were able to discuss in the class and have that one-to-one connection, since we were only 4 people in the class.
And then, so this is just for a time check, 12:30, there is a transfer session. So if anybody here in the group is a transfer, head on over to the transfer session. That's at 12:30. But don't worry, you won't miss anything because this is recorded and this is open till Friday. But we're gonna kind of switch and transfer over to talking about sports. So we had a question, would you guys recommend joining a sports team? Is it, how is it balancing classes? I know we have a couple of athletes on the panel, so we'll start with whether Jess, Johan, Lynn, Mary want to start. You guys can.
I can start.
Johan.
Yeah, I would recommend joining a sports team. We also got to keep in mind that obviously this is an NCAA school, this is NCAA Division III school, and all the teams here, all the coaches go through a recruiting process, and they obviously over the summer and all the different teams have different rules with recruiting. But if you don't get recruited or you just come here, definitely try out. Every single team has tryouts. And even if you don't want to go as far as an NCAA team, you can also join club teams. And we have a lot of different club teams. You have a lot of different intramurals too, where you meet a lot of different people. And I would definitely recommend either joining an NCAA team, but if you don't want to go that far, you can also join an intramural or a club team where you're also gonna be able to meet people and everything. For me, doing it, this is my 5th year doing it. COVID gave me 1 more year, but in undergrad, I was an athletic training major, and it was pretty heavy, and dealing with courses and sports was really heavy, but I was able to find a rhythm and it worked out and I was able to graduate. So, but I definitely do recommend joining some type of athletic team.
I know, yeah, Jess, you can, yeah.
So I have a little bit maybe of a different experience, just because when I was looking at Springfield, I looked at the swim team and I was like, whoa, they're way too fast for me. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to just shoot my shot. I sent the coach an email. I sent him my times. You know, my times didn't compare to what girls were putting down here. But he was like, yeah, like, you know, I mean, you're not recruit level, but like, you're welcome to walk on the team. I think his words were, if you survive, you got a spot. And so here I am 3 years later. I survived, and the team was super welcoming and loving to me right from the start. I was really nervous going in, being afraid that like people were going to see my times and be like, oh, like, you know, like she's not as good, blah, 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 maybe not be as nice to me, but I couldn't be further from the truth. I was embraced with open arms right from the start. They really, you know, I felt so loved right from the start. And since joining the team, I have gotten so much better. You know, I started off like slowest of the slow. And, you know, I've been working hard for 3 years now, learning a whole lot. And it's been an amazing experience. And I would absolutely recommend it to anybody.
I know, Lynn, you are on one of the club teams. Can you talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, so my first year, which was last year, I came in not having like a varsity sport or anything, and I knew I wanted to get involved. But if you're not into varsity sports or you want to try something new, club sports is always a good thing to do. And there's a lot to do. So like I kind of tried out a bunch of clubs and saw which ones I liked. We have Iron Sports, which is kind of like a weightlifting club, and I was like into that, and I was like, ooh, maybe I should try that. And it's definitely cool because it's like if you're really busy and you don't have time for a lot of sports, then that's okay. You don't have to show up to every practice for club sports. I know there's a lot of athletes on campus, so there's balancing academics and sports, but it's a really good way to meet new people.
And then my favorite, Nate, let's talk about some intramurals.
So intramurals. Intramurals are a lot of fun. I'm not on a team at Springfield College. I played a lot of sports in high school, but I was like, I really need to focus on my academics because I didn't think I could handle being on a team and being an OT major. But intramurals, they're mostly for fun. You get to play with all your friends that you make. I know I was on a few teams my freshman year that were just people I lived on the same floor as, guys that I met playing basketball and everything. So intramurals, there's a ton of different types. If you're into volleyball, basketball, slow pitch softball, there's flag football. So there's a lot that you can get into for intramurals. And they're a lot of fun.
Anybody else? No, good.
I just wanted to add
Johan?
that Lynn touched something that is important to talk about. Is like varsity sports are time consuming, and when you're part of a varsity team, it's not like you can just say, I'm not showing up this day, I'm not showing up this day, but I'm gonna go to the games or gonna go to swim meets. You got to be committed, and if you do decide to pursue that route, you got to know that it's gonna be time consuming every day. When you're in season, you're probably gonna be in practice from 4 to 6, 5 to 7, weightlifting twice a week. So I'm not trying to scare you because I did it. A lot of us have done it. I'm just trying to make sure that you know if you want to get into a sport that you know what you're coming into.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, yep.
Can I just tag on to that just a little bit more? It's a huge commitment, but the thing is that you're never alone in it. You know, you've got the whole team, you're all going through it together. I got amazing study help from upperclassmen when I was first getting used to college and stuff. And now that I'm an upperclassman, you know, I pay it forward and I'm helping out some underclassmen in classes. So we all take care of each other. And it's a huge commitment, but you're not doing it alone. And I think if any of us were trying to do this alone, like none of us would make it, but we all have each other, and that's what makes the difference.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So we'll kind of transition over to, I know there's some questions with study abroad and all that stuff. We'll go to Dom. I know she studied abroad last semester. Can you just touch on that and your experience a little bit?
Yeah, so I was in Sorrento, Italy, which is in southern Italy. Not many people have gone there, at least from our school. A lot of people go to Florence as like one of the bigger cities. Reaching out to our international center is the biggest thing to do. Like if you even have like the slightest like interest in it, I recommend going and talking to them and talking to your advisor to see when it's best for you to go abroad. For me, that was sophomore year, but some people, I think like PT majors have a very strict schedule. So for them, I think it's best in like their junior year or something like that for them to go. So just making sure that like you're communicating with your advisor and like reaching out to that, to the international center for like questions that you might have or like places that you would have never thought to go, but like you want to expand your horizons. That was the biggest thing. Besides COVID, I would have loved to continue out my semester there, but having the support of everybody when I did have to come home was really nice because they were reaching out to make sure that we were okay and that we were safe and making it back safe too.
And I know with the study abroad program, they have a bunch of different options where if you're in that position where it's a very strict schedule with your major, they have Maymesters, which are in over the summer, or they even have kind of like a December, January study abroad opportunity, which our study abroad office kind of gives you all that information. And based, again, with what Dom said, talking to your advisor and the study abroad office, you gotta have to make the best decision for yourself and that stuff. But going on some different experiences, has anybody on the panel did any like internships, community involvement? Kind of what is your guys' experience with that stuff?
For me, I'm part of the OT program, like I said, and we start our kind of field work in our sophomore year. So starting my sophomore year, I was in a rehab hospital, seeing like the field, and we do that. I did it sophomore year. I had one last year, and then we also do service learning. So for service learning, I went to a nursing home, and I helped run activities with the residents of the nursing home.
You had your hand up for a second before.
Yeah, so for applied exercise science, we get put into internships our junior and senior year. So I'm currently on the hunt for an internship. However, with community involvement, sorry, we have a lot of places around here that we can get involved with. Like I reached out to the Center for Service and Leadership, and I worked in a program called Blast, which is an after-school program with an elementary school nearby, and they also host a partners program where the students actually come onto campus and they're paired up with a Springfield student, and you just get to like hang around with kids and like make sure that they're having like a fun time before they have to go home.
Good. All right, and then so we're just wrapping up, but again, I want to ask you guys all the same question. I think a lot of what. Oh, Brianna, sorry.
Sorry. There's a question that came up about the Academic Success Center, and I just wanted to answer it live, but anyone could jump in. So the Academic Success Center helps you with everything. Personally, me, I have an IEP, and when I came in my freshman year, I brought it from high school to college, and they really help you in that transition from going to being a high school student, now being in college on your own. So they help you like set up classes. They help you talk to your professors if you need it. They like will send out emails. They will check in with you periodically. But that's not all. You could also get a tutor in the Academic Success Center, and it's completely free because that's part of their work study. And if you have an A in the class, you could always apply to be a tutor for somebody else. There's writing studio, as we were talking about earlier. That you could ask the Academic Success Center if you could get into one of those classes if you don't have like a writing class that you go to or something like that. They have these rooms in the Learning Commons or the library that you could rent out for like I think 2 hours at a time or something, and so you could do your work in peace. And there's like there's a lot of stuff in there that could always help you, so don't be afraid to go in there. It's on 3rd floor of Learning Commons if you ever come to visit.
I can also add that there, for international students, there's a program there that I worked, and it's basically like a tutor for international students, and it's basically to allow them to kind of like express themselves, to like have a friend, because a lot of international students, when they come in, they only have their own friends, their own friend group, and they mostly want to branch out, but they don't know how to. So they go to the Academic Success Center and get a study buddy, and where we kind of like go talk about the day, talk about what their experience is like, but also kind of like if they have questions about English, about grammar, and about a class, about how to do a certain thing. That's also a good way to kind of like learn more about the English language, but also know how to like do different things and branch out and know how to kind of like reach out to someone and like be like, I want to be your friend. But because I know for international students, that could be a little difficult and a little scary. So that program just allows them to basically be comfortable and have a voice.
So I just want to say that I am a tutor and I've been tutored. And when I was in high school and younger, I always thought being tutor was a bad thing. It meant like you didn't know, but having a tutor is a good thing. They're there to help you progress you towards the grades you want to achieve. They're not there to do the work for you, but they're going to assist you along the way. And I took my first graduate level course last year, and I thought there was no way I was going to pass this. But with the help of a tutor, I did pass, and now I tutor that class as well.
I also wanted to say something about the academic center. They have academic coaching, so if you ever want to sign up for one, basically you can meet with the person depending on your schedule, and it really helps you with time management and making sure that you're on top of things, especially if you're an athlete or you just need more help because you have a really busy schedule. But they're really there for you, and there's a lot of resources you can go out for.
So we're going to wrap up with one more last question, and this is for everybody, so we'll go in order again. So why would you guys encourage students to keep looking at Springfield College? I think we've all kind of experienced our own different things at Springfield College. So like, why should these students keep looking? Why, what is there more about Springfield College? Kind of explain that little thing for you guys. We'll start with Lynn.
So your question was why they should keep on looking to Springfield College, right? Okay. I feel like honestly, let me think. Well, from my perspective, the reason why I chose Springfield College was because of my major, and I was really interested in exercise science, and I really wanted to know more about it. And so like when I first toured the college, I just immediately fell in love with it, and I felt like it was such a good community to be in. And not just that, it's just like the whole entire like people there. Without the people, it's not Springfield College. Like it's definitely I don't know. I really love it. But yeah.
Next.
Yeah, obviously you keep looking at Springfield. We have many different programs academically, but also keep looking at Springfield because I know a lot of people have had different experiences, and given, as I mentioned before, this is my 5th year, so I've heard a lot of different people talk about why they chose Springfield, about their experience. And a common thing that is said in almost every single person is that sense of community and that sense of support that you feel right when you step on campus. And that's basically why I chose Springfield College. I'm from Puerto Rico, and my first time living in the United States was when I came here to be a freshman, and I step on campus, and that support, that sense of community, that sense of just being there for one another is why I chose Springfield College. Also for academics, sports, and everything. But taking that aside, it's just we're a community inside a community. We make sure that our community is strong so we can help other communities out, and that's the main point. I think why you should keep looking at Springfield.
So I agree with everything that's been said. But another thing that's really important when you're looking at a school is to make sure that, you know, the school you choose is somewhere that you're going to be comfortable and comfortable being yourself, and somewhere that you can really see yourself, not as like a different person as you are like right now, you know, like you're gonna be the same person, you know. And so for me, like that meant when I was touring schools, sometimes, you know, I'd walk around and people were wearing these expensive, extravagant outfits to class. Like, you know, these like Canada Goose jackets to class. I'm like, no, like I wear leggings and a sweatshirt every day, and people love me for it. And so that's, you know, for me, like that was a big deal of like finding somewhere that, you know, I felt like I would be comfortable and that I wouldn't have to like, you know, dress up to go to class or something, because I wasn't going to do that.
Dom?
Going off of what Jess just said, I remember touring schools and not feeling like I could necessarily fit in. However, once like I came here, it was a sense of like relief, and like even like my family noticed that I felt relaxed by stepping on campus. And I think the biggest thing is that Springfield has a lot of like hidden secrets to it that a lot of people come to realize as like they come as a freshman, and like you start seeing all of these different programs and different ways that you can get involved. For me, I'm a big fan of community service, so that was something that I looked for in my schools, and Springfield is really big about helping the community, whereas like some of the other schools didn't have anything related to that. So I would say just make sure that like you're being very open-minded about being like going to a new school and stuff like that.
Arielle?
I just feel like with Springfield College, I just felt the most comfortable because like with what Jessica said, like we could just like I could just wear some sweatpants, some Uggs, and a sweatshirt, come to class early, 8 o'clock in the morning, under a tent, and it'll just be fine because I'm just wearing sweatpants and I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I don't care. I don't need to wear jeans. I don't need to wear all this fancy stuff. And it's like for me, I just feel like for me, I had a different experience because I've worked for Springfield College 2 years before I even entered as a freshman. So it's like I feel like I had more of a connection with like, some of the staff already, and I just felt more comfortable because I also live in Springfield. So it's like I was still at home basically, and I just felt like it was just right for me.
Channi?
Being an international student, I did not have a chance to take a tour of the campus and to decide on should I attend Springfield College or not. I was talking to my professors, my to-be professors, and the people in the admissions office, and I knew that this is the place where I want to be. I just want to mention an incident from last year. So I missed my class. It was an 8 a.m. class in the morning. And my professor emailed me saying, "Hi, Channi, are you doing okay? I didn't see you in the class." And that's the sense of community. And your professor really care about you. And that's why you should look at Springfield College.
Yeah, it's I think I said it before, I was cutting it out a little bit, but it's the support you have. When you're here, your professors want you to do well, your classmates want you to do well, everyone that you talk to wants you to do well, and everybody's willing to help you out in that goal. My first semester, I came, and so I'm from New Jersey, so it's a little far for me, and I didn't come with anybody I knew. But finding friends, making friends, and then having the support of my advisor and all my classmates helped me throughout my college career.
And then Brianna.
Yeah. For me, I think keep looking at Springfield College because I know a lot of you can't have like the normal tour. I know for me, when I came on the tour that for Acceptance Students Day, I just felt so welcome and that like this was home for me. I'm like an hour and 30 minutes away, so it's not bad, but I really don't like to go home. And like Channi was talking about, you have professors that care about you. Like I won an award my freshman year. I didn't even know about it. Like no one knew about it. And then before you know it, all my professors are like emailing me congratulations and everything. And I felt like so welcomed when they did that. And like even when you miss class, like they will email you, make sure everything's okay. Like I like to keep an open line of communication with all my professors so they know like what's going on, like if I miss class. And most of my professors are really understanding, especially this semester with COVID and everything. So they will reach out to you if you're okay. Like even if you get quarantined in a dorm hall, they will reach out to you and they will give you extensions, say take time for yourself. So I just think you should come and keep looking at Springfield College, find that community feeling, and make sure when you get here, it feels like home for you. Because if you don't like it, if it doesn't feel like home for you, what's the point of coming? But like, try to get on campus because it makes a difference.
All right, thank you guys. So unfortunately, that is all the time we have for the student panel. Again, the open house is not done for today. We have a meet the admission staff at 1, which is in a little bit, in 8 minutes. And then at 1:30, we have our live Instagram tour. What's up, Jess?
I'm gonna throw my email into the chat. If anyone has any super specific questions, maybe about PT or the honors program or student athlete life or anything, I am more than happy to answer emails from anyone. So I'm going to throw mine down in the chat. I invite anyone else who wants to on the panelists to do it. But just in case you guys have any further questions, we're still here to support you guys.
Yes, definitely. And like I said before, the open house is going on all day today until 1:30 with the live tour. And then this website is going to be open all week. So if you miss anything from today, all these sessions are recorded. So just go back on to the website and you'll be able to see if you miss something, you could go and see them recorded. And if you're interested in visiting Springfield College, visit our website, springfield.edu/visit for all of the information regarding visiting campus. But thank you for kind of joining us this Sunday morning, and we hope to see you all soon.